Okay, hello, we're back. Hopefully the audio doesn't sound as bad. I did a test stream and it sounded a lot better, but who knows? I have no clue why audio would be sounding weird because nothing has changed since last week on my settings. So hopefully people find their way back. And if you do, let me know if the audio sounds better, if it sounds shittier. Hopefully, you might still hear a little distortion. I heard it, like when I listen for it, I can hear a little bit, but I'm hoping it's not too bad. And while I wait for everybody to come back in and let me know, I guess I should start bringing stories back up that I wanted to cover. Just turn the volume up or move the mic closer. Hello. Closer now. That'd be weird if it's completely gone now. I pushed it away because it seemed to go away, but hopefully now, because I turned the gain down a lot and it seemed to fix it. But I have no clue why, because I hear it. I could hear like the hum too, and I haven't had the hum problem forever. I don't know why that suddenly just came back. Well, we're going to have to Google our stories as we go, because I like to have something up as we talk, but I'll let everybody come back in. But since this is going to be, I'm not posting the other shit, so since we're going to be posting this, as long as everything sounds okay, I just want to give another shout out again, Frack Skull and Skeptical Jesus for being $5 patrons. Thank you. On with the show. Yes, on with the show. So for those of you who missed the first part, which, let me see. Did you make the new DP intro? It's very good. I did not make the new DP intro. I was not skilled enough to make an awesome DP intro. I saw like part of it. I came in as it was playing, so I saw there was a new one, but I haven't seen the full one yet. I tried. I didn't want to do the DP intro to begin with, just because I was so picky with my my creation of it, because the old one was so good, and I'm a very novice animator, so especially when it came to the DP intro, because that thing was awesome. So I was gonna be picky with it no matter what. But I haven't seen the new one completely. I saw like the last half. It looked cool though from what I saw. But yeah, it seems like audio's okay. One last shout out there. Let me know if it sucks. If not, we can go on with the show. I think we're good though. And I'll do some playing around on my end, because it sounds fine here, but I hear it on the stream. Maybe it's something I'm compressing out. I'll have to mess around with those settings again and see. But yeah, so the first story I want to talk about here today was the whole YouTube adpocalypse continuation. Audio is perfect. Maybe I just needed a reboot and some messing around. I noticed it just seemingly vanished after I had like restarted a couple of the streams, because when I came back the audio sounded messed up. But then randomly it was just like, no, you're good. That's technology for you. It's wonderful. We should all become Amish people. So let me bring up. So I was watching Philip DeFranco. Some people are gonna go, ugh. I don't get the hate for DeFranco as much as he gets. I get that he's a big YouTuber, so people want to like hate on him. He's not the world's best YouTuber, but I catch him just to catch some news during the week. And I was drawn in by his YouTube comments. I found a story here. Let me see, where was it? I think this was it. No, I don't want to see the video. Don't play it. I forget if this was it or not. No, it was this one. This was the story I wanted to cover. Okay. So for those of you who are quite aware, most of you YouTubers have been talking about the YouTube adpocalypse. And if you've been under a rock this entire time, I'm not going to go through the whole origins. Maybe I'll do a documentary on that, though, at some point. That would be a fun documentary, YouTube apocalypse. But with what's been going on recently, a lot more YouTubers have been talking about a lot more problems. Viewer suppression is like the one I'm seeing kind of go around now. It's hard to tell with my own channel just because it's a smaller channel, and I haven't put out anything huge. But I've noticed definite subscriber loss on days where I publish a video, but subscriber growth on the other days, which I've heard people commenting about that for a while. And I've heard tons from my audience, especially when I go live, that they're just not getting the notifications. Like one of my patrons, Skeptical Jesus, messaged me over Twitter today asking when my next live stream was, because he's never been notified when they're live, apparently. And it's like, oh, well, that's wonderful. But this caught my eye when Philip DeFranco made a video basically talking about his frustrations with YouTube's system and how he might be looking to other platforms. And that caught my eye. Let me see. I don't know, man. Amish people are a little questionable. I have nothing bad to say about them. I actually live close to Amish people. I don't interact with them that much, but they don't bother me and I don't bother them. So that's all I can ask for at this point. But it caught my eye because Philip DeFranco is like a huge YouTuber. Like most people would love to have his subscriber count. And he's even getting hit by this whole demonetization thing and I guess the search bot, the monetization bot. And it's frustrating to see that, but it's an eye-opener to see that even the big YouTubers are like, what the fuck? It shows how far YouTube has gone down the rabbit hole of just censoring the crap out of people, to the point where now the big YouTubers who do this for a living think it hurts their bottom line enough that they are looking into other avenues. Because we can see here, I don't even know who this YouTuber is. I've seen him around, but apparently he's a big YouTuber, Casey Nestat. I don't know who that is, but apparently he's popular enough that when he says he's going to leave YouTube to get monetized, it's getting media attention. So this article, I guess I'll read the beginning part of this. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki today addressed ongoing frustration and anger with the creator community over demonetization. I'm betting, prediction here, guys, I don't think Wojcicki gave a good response to this, because she has not yet, but we'll see. Wojcicki published a blog post looking at the past year, focusing on the last few months following the company's changes to the YouTube Partner Program. Creators were told they now needed a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours accrued watch time in the past 12 months to be eligible for partner status, meaning they could earn revenue for their videos. This greatly upset the creator community at large. I was kind of neutral on this whole thing. I don't know how you guys felt when this rule got implemented with the creator, like the 1,000 subscriber cap. Yeah, I know. I fixed my mic earlier. I don't know why it's clipping a bit. I'm gonna mess around in the settings, but it's better than it was before. So we're gonna roll with it right now. But yeah, I had no strong like my whole thing with the 1,000 subscriber bar was like, that can be difficult for some people, but I didn't get the point as to why this fixed any of the issues they were going for. It just seemed like an attempt to fix it. No, it's fine, Ryan, you're good. I am frustrated though why it started clipping, because I've messed with no settings. I'd be okay with it if I had fucked something up, but I don't know what happened. So I'll look into it. But on with the article, Wojcicki acknowledged that it's been tough for newcomers to YouTube and has addressed concerns over delay in partner application reviews. Yeah, as a newish YouTuber, at least trying to get into it, I can say the platform's not very friendly, to the point where it's like, I'm not going to try to make YouTube full-time unless like something, a miracle happens. It's just not a smart idea, I think, for people to come to YouTube with the intention of making it a full-time job. You kind of have to approach it as a hobby and just say, hey, if this takes off, it takes off. Otherwise, it's just, there's so many factors going against you, it's just not worth it. It's actually probably more worth your time to do something else. Ryan says he thinks the 1,000 subs came in part due to the fact you can buy 1,000 subs that won't watch on eBay. Yeah, I know people, you can buy like a ton of subs. That was my whole problem. It's like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a solution. I don't even know what it was really a solution to. Like, you had to hit this to get monetized. It was just dumb. Because there's tons of channels they probably don't want monetized that passed that subscription mark. So it's like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like a fix to it. But yeah, as a new YouTuber, it's like, I don't think they're going to get a lot more new YouTubers. I think if you're well established, you can make it work on YouTube. But more and more, because of them hindering the system, it's going to encourage less and less people to come to the platform and try it out. Which is why I think a new platform, it's unlikely right now, but it's probably the best bet. I think 99% of people would benefit from getting a business license and writing off expenses related to creating. If people don't take themselves seriously enough for that, Google shouldn't either. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, it's not hard to hit 1,000. If you make something decent, it's really not hard to hit 1,000 if you find that that part of the market. The only problem is now, I hate saying that, because I know YouTube's fucking with people. Like, they're not delivering stuff to the subscribers, so they've made it even harder to hit that. So it's like, that's why I think it's important to definitely collaborate with other YouTubers and team up, because it makes it easier for people to come around. And you just kind of sharing audiences that are similar, it's easier to get out there. I think that's like the best way to do it right now if you are looking to get into YouTubing. So let me see what she said here. For those of you who have not yet met the new threshold, keep creating and building your audience. We have resources to help you learn and grow. I have never watched any of their resource videos, ever. I don't feel like that. I would rather have them focus on just fixing the system and actually delivering the shit to my subscribers. I feel like that would go a long way to fixing new YouTubers' problems. Let's see. Despite Wojcicki's claims that YouTube demonetization problem is getting better, creators like Philip DeFranco and Casey Neistat, I don't know how you say that. I've never watched a video of his, are saying otherwise. DeFranco is threatening to invest time in other platforms, and Neistat may be partnering with Patreon CEO Jack Conte. I'm really bad with the name, guys. So if I got those wrong, you can laugh. Yeah, creators have been complaining about flip-flopping monetization icons on their videos, arguing it's difficult to understand what is acceptable by YouTube standards and what isn't. Yeah, I don't even bother to try with YouTube monetization. Like, I did, it didn't happen, and I'm not really missing out on it too much because I feel like a lot of my stuff wouldn't be monetized anyway. Even like family-friendly stuff gets hit, and nobody knows what's good to monetize anymore. Say you met these requirements, you still gotta get manual view. I know a guy who's been waiting since November. Neistat. Okay. Hopefully I remember that. But yeah, I think this is kind of the biggest thing about the YouTube apocalypse, because these two are definitely big time YouTubers, and if they're feeling the pressure from a business standpoint to leave YouTube, like, that's saying something, because they have the audience. They have the audience to support a business, but if they're seeing, like, I think they said they lost hundreds of thousands of views because their videos were blacklisted or they just weren't monetized because of them. Like, for Philip's case, he was covering real news that can be controversial. That's why people like watching him. But YouTube has decided to screw him over on that, just like so many other YouTubers that we all enjoy. And that's what's going to push people away from YouTube. Is YouTube profitable yet? Last I knew, no. No, it is not profitable. I think that's part of... Here's my whole philosophy. I don't think it's some mass conspiracy to censor people as much as it is. YouTube just isn't profitable, and Google doesn't want to invest the time and money into it. Especially when they've launched YouTube Red and YouTube TV. I think they're trying their legs at that, and that's going to be the only reason they get profitable. And I think they know that. And I don't think these moves on their platform are making it any easier to make their site profitable, because they're just pissing off the people who would bring them the profit. Because if you're pissing off your workers who make the content, especially the big time YouTubers who bring in the most views, that's not going to go well. Sent you a link via Twitter. Okay. Hey, Trekker, I haven't talked to you in a while. Nice to see you around. Let me see what you sent in. Hey, Murphy, have you seen this? Okay, we'll check this out in a minute here, Trekker. Let me, when I finish the story, I hope this next, because I am interested in this. I see what you have sent. Yeah, YouTube Red, I haven't even bothered with YouTube Red. I've seen like 2 of their programs when they offered it for free just to see what they were selling that made it worthwhile, because I saw it had a lot of views, but it was crap. I think the only reason to get YouTube Red is for, let me see, I like a few YouTube Red features, but I feel like such a scumbag for giving Google money for it. So Ryan, I'm curious, what are the features you get with YouTube Red? I think I know a few of them, like you don't get ads or something. I know for the creator side of things, it's easier to get money when somebody has YouTube Red. So if you have YouTube Red watchers, it's easier to get advertiser monies. I look like a middle league dyke. Thank you. Death Wish Cassidy. Does that mean you have a death wish for you, Cassidy, or somebody else? I have no clue. But in any case, it would be curious to see where this goes. I know Philip DeFranco's launching his own thing, and I think a lot of big names can do that. It's sad because little smaller creators, not even smaller creators, but like he can do it because he's got like 5 million subscribers, and I think he knows going into it he's going to lose some audience if he just solely does it on these other websites, because just having it on YouTube is bringing in a big audience already. But because of all the censorship and crap, I think he feels it's more profitable to just do it on his own website. And I know fellow content creators who have done stuff on their own website. And they kind of started out a lot more, like they kind of use YouTube as a supplement. I've talked about the Unfiltered show before. And so they're done by Jupiter Broadcasting. And it is, they do like a lot of tech stuff and whatnot. But they mainly get a lot of their views from iTunes, like their podcast downloaders, and they just post to YouTube all the time, just because they know that's a way to get some people. But they hope after they've got them on YouTube, they'll go check out their website, or they'll just subscribe on an RSS feed and get their content that way. But it definitely sucks because they know their stuff gets censored all the time on YouTube. Like it gets pulled for bullshit copyright stuff, or it's like, oh, this is covering actual news. We gotta demonetize that crap. Let me see. Are you gonna do any more Peasants Through the Ages videos though? Did I talk about that in the first part of the stream? I don't know if I did. I did mention. I tweeted it out yesterday. I've been considering doing another episode of Peasants Through the Ages. Now, I saw that one of the Patreon goals for DP was if they got a certain amount of money, they were going to bring back the Drunken Peasants Wiki. And that was a huge resource I used to originally make the documentary. I basically used that for all of my research for that. And when I did episode 7 or 8, or both of them, for the documentary, I remember not having the DP Wiki available, and it made it super difficult to research for that episode that I had to make. And that was a lot of time I had to put into just figuring it all out, compared to going to a resource that had everything there already very nicely laid out. So I could say, oh, this was the episode this happened, and this was the episode that happened. So if that resource becomes available again, like a new one comes out, that would basically guarantee I could make another Peasants Through the Ages, because then it's super easy for me to create something like that, and I don't have to put in all the time researching everything, because especially right now I'd have to go back and rewatch all the episodes of DP to find certain things, and I don't think I don't really have the time nor desire to really do that, unless the audience was really there. So if that goal is met on their Patreon, basically you can pretty much guarantee I'll probably have another episode of the documentary, as long as I can have the time to do it. Who knows what will happen in the future, but the chances are pretty likely I'll do that. I do wish I could play YouTube audio only sometimes. Listening to videos ruins my phone screen while I'm driving, or while I'm driving screen is getting, yeah, I know, actually, let me read what Ryan here said first. No ads, download whatever videos you want on your device. Like, you can't do that anyways. Yeah, I do that anyways. I use other platforms to do that now. Shut the screen off and the video still plays. Yeah, I knew that was one of the changes. I saw, I think that's what Nicholas Reynolds was talking about there. So I think that was the big one that pissed me off, because I used to listen to music all the time on YouTube as I was on the go. And you can't do that now. unless you get YouTube Red, and it's really annoying because you have to leave the screen open in order to play videos, and it's annoying because like if I get a message and I'm watching a YouTube video and I tab out, it doesn't play anymore, even if you have the YouTube app. I don't even know what the advantage of having the YouTube app anymore is, unless you have YouTube Red. Will you make a DFF documentary? I will probably not, because I don't watch DFF. And somebody asked me this the other day too in the chat, and I don't know if DFF is worth a documentary. Not saying like it's a bad show. It hasn't been my cup of tea, but it feels more like it's a grab bag type of show where it's like every week they cover a different topic. So I don't know how much, because with the DP documentary, it was worth making one for that because there was such a history there for the podcast and like a set of characters that came back to cause drama each week. So that was what made it worth covering, because when you got new viewers for DP, they would hear all these ongoing jokes and characters and not know anything about them and get kind of lost. So the whole point for me making that documentary was like, hey, here's a quick thing that you can watch. Each episode will kind of focus on a different era, and you can learn about all this stuff if you've been enjoying the podcast. I don't know if DFF has that type of draw to it to make a documentary off of it. Hello, Spectacular Glasses. How are you doing? Let's see. Run links through the bot on Discord and listen to audio only in the Discord voice chat. You could crowdsource some of the effort out if you really wanted to on that project. Yeah, that could be something. I might ask for people's help on that if I wanted to. Yeah, I know my mic has sounded a little today. Actually, I want to unmute it. Let's hear what it sounds like now. It sounded better than it had. Hey, now it's back to... I don't know why it's back to sounding that bad. Yeah, it does. It sounds worse, but we're going to keep going at this point. I'll mess around with it so you guys can hear me sound like I'm in a tunnel. But yeah, YouTube, we'll see. I'm curious. I don't know. I've talked about it before with the whole, is another platform going to rise up and take it out? I don't think so, but it's definitely not looking good for YouTube when their biggest content creators are starting to go, hey, you're not doing enough to fix these problems. Our bottom line's getting hurt. We're going to leave. Or at least they're looking into other sources now. And that's just not desirable for YouTube also as a business standard. So it'll be curious to see what they do about it. See, when I play the sound back, see, I know some people are saying it's fine, and I hear the sound when it's on YouTube. Like, it sounds fine on my end, but when I hear it on YouTube, it sounds really crappy. So I don't know what's up. I'll mess around with some shit after the stream and see what's up. But yeah, any last thoughts on this whole YouTube thing, guys, before we move on? Because, I don't know, it's depressing because I always wanted to do a lot of YouTube stuff, especially when I was going through college, and that's kind of what I wanted to do afterwards. But by my senior year, I was like, YouTube's probably not the best option because it's just they keep screwing over their platform. And it's definitely sad, especially because I wasn't like a huge YouTuber, but I noticed it, I noticed it as a user of YouTube when I wasn't getting to see everybody's videos that I had subscribed to, especially channels that I had watched regularly. Like that was the first thing I noticed, and that just sucks from a user standpoint, not even a creator standpoint. I don't know what you're talking about, but fuck YouTube. We were talking about some big time YouTubers complaining about YouTube and moving on to other stuff, or at least looking to other platforms now that hit the news. Because and also talking about how Susan Wojcicki still apparently can't really convince people that the platform isn't doing all it can to fix its issues. All right, so I just got this story from Trekker in the chat editors. Let's see what it is. He sent me a Star Trek Online thing. I used to play Star Trek Online. I used to podcast for Star Trek Online. So I kind of keep my eye on the game. I left it for a bit Mainly because I just lost interest in the game. I didn't like the direction they were heading in. But this one, I talked about a couple streams ago how they were doing an expansion. Their like fourth expansion for the game that was focused around Deep Space Nine. Which, if you don't know, Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek show. So let's see what's going on here. So it looks like they're going to redesign Deep Space Nine in game, which I'd be totally on board with, because it's all right in game. I remember what Deep Space Nine used to look like, but I think it's been needing a redesign for a bit to look a little more accurate to the show. Let's see. DS9's been showing their age. There's a lot of issues with the old map. Let's see. Let's just take a look at some of these pictures here. This must be an early redesign. Got some of the schematics. I always liked the promenade from Deep Space Nine. Like that always, like, as a kid watching it, made me want to live there so I could shop the promenade and shit like that. I don't know. It was just, I loved the sets. They're probably some of my favorite they did in all of Star Trek. Ooh, I like what they're doing with Quarks here. I forget what sickbay looks like in Deep Space Nine. I actually don't think you could have gone there originally. I don't think I ever went in sickbay in Star Trek Online for DS9. Maybe that just wasn't there. So yeah, I'll definitely be hopping in to Star Trek Online when this expansion comes out. I'll have to reinstall it though, because I don't have it installed on this machine. I don't even know if I have room. I have so much space taken up by video shit that I gotta clear up, because I'm bad. I'm not a good organizer with my video stuff. If I just showed you my Mac home screen right now that I do all my editing on, it's a mess. Everything's all over the desktop. And they teach you, like, I took so many classes in college that teach you how to organize this shit, and I haven't learned. It's terrible. What about Amazon Tube? Amazon, I think, has the best shot at taking on YouTube. It has to be, like, Google is pretty powerful, especially when it comes to money and influence on the internet. So I think the only thing that could possibly take on YouTube at this point is somebody who has an equal amount of power and influence on the internet. And Amazon is definitely one of them. I think Facebook had their shot, but their videos thing didn't take off, and I don't think they can salvage that at this point. I saw they were doing playable Jem'Hadar. I didn't see anything on Cardassian, so that's cool. Yeah, and Amazon owns Twitch, and Twitch is doing all right. I wouldn't say Twitch is perfect, because we've seen how their, like, rules of service and all that stuff is fucking over creators over there. They have a bunch of pointless shit going on. So it's like, okay. I've considered going onto Twitch to do more gaming content. I actually started replaying StarCraft this week, and I debated whether I'd stream it or not. I didn't know, because there's tons of those, like, StarCraft videos out there, but I don't know if that's something people would want to watch in my audience. Like, hey, I'll watch you play some StarCraft. But I'd probably do it more likely on Twitch, because that's where I feel like it's more appropriate. Do you do anything on Twitch, Ryan? I know you do YouTube. I don't know if you do any Twitch stuff, because I haven't messed around with Twitch. I've debated it. Maybe I'll look into that. I almost started messing around with Twitch when I was, like, big on Heroes of the Storm, and I played with a bunch of people. I would play Heroes with you guys, except I uninstalled it. I got kind of pissed off at Heroes. They kept, there's, like, some issue in Heroes where if you're in Hero League, which is the only mode I play, if you, like, lose connection from the server for, like, even a millisecond, it screws up the whole draft, and then you get kicked out of it, and you get 3 times the penalty you would for quitting just during a match. and then you lose a ton of points, of course. And I had that happen to me several times since I went back into the game. It just got frustrating, and I left. That's honestly why I started playing StarCraft, because like, I want to play some StarCraft now. I've run a live feed on Twitch to pad hours. Twitch makes you unlock achievements from streaming and being quality versus shit. I have no clue what that meant. I might have just read that wrong. Twitch is good if you want to connect with a community of people who are super into certain things. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I haven't decided what my niche is yet. I have like a few. I've done gaming, like board gaming stuff, but I've always done that with my brother, and since he's at college, I haven't wanted to resume that too much. I definitely like. I would do more documentary stuff on here. It just takes a lot of effort, so it's like those are gonna be sparse in between. So I've been posting other stuff to this channel because I debated whether I was just gonna solely post documentary stuff to here or not. Also, Twitch, the one problem I have with Twitch is it's hard to, it's great for live streaming, but just finding stuff that's like video produced content, like say I made the DP documentary series, I don't think it would go over well on Twitch. I just don't feel like it's good for produced video. It's good for live. In some ways, I think a little better than YouTube is, but it just isn't there for produced content. Oh yeah, I hate versus AI and Heroes. I think it just comes from I like the competitive aspect of the game, especially because I always played with my brother, and he was pretty. He was like a high platinum player. He could have made it higher, but he just didn't have the time to, I think, invest in it, because he was around in that game since the alpha days. Let me see. Are you getting ready for a Civ 5 game? I have been ready for that for a while. I got tired of playing the AI, so I haven't been doing too much on that. I gotta set up though our date for that. I'm still tentatively shooting for next weekend. I gotta reach out to people, and see what we're gonna do. I'll try to get everybody who's involved in that some dates coming up here. Have you heard of reststream.io? You can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. That would be a very handy service. The only problem with that is I know Twitch gets super annoyed. Like, I actually think it's against their terms of service to stream to other platforms, or at least YouTube, once you become their partner, which I think is just kind of dumb. I think they should encourage... I get why, because YouTube's their competition, but it's not encouraging people who are successful on YouTube to go to Twitch, because there is that boundary where the YouTube audience does not want to go to Twitch. So it's hard to go over there or be willing to go over there solely, because we saw that with DP. Look, DP tried to do like Twitch only streams, and they kind of stopped because it just wasn't working for them, and they couldn't do Twitch and YouTube anymore because of Twitch's rules. Almost half of US households have Amazon Prime, which has Twitch Prime and a free subscription for a Twitch channel to pay them once a month. I think there's... So here's the one thing that I found annoying with... Because I tried Twitch Prime. You have to be the one who has the Prime account. Because I have it... I have access through family. So... Because I originally was paying for it, but then a family member had Amazon Prime. So I just went on theirs. Because it was like, I get the same benefit, and I don't have to continue paying mine, because it's just within the family. But I don't get Twitch Prime through that anymore. So that part was a little annoying. Do you play RL? What's RL? I don't know what RL is. Ajit Pai has been arrested? No, you have to be trolling. No, that's too good to be true. Now I gotta look this up. Is this breaking? If you got my hopes up, Spectacular Glasses, I'm gonna hate you. Ajit Pai arrested. See, I saw a broadband advisor picked by Ajit Pai was arrested. Was Ajit Pai himself arrested? See, I just see everything about this chairperson. Let's see, news. I don't know if I have been trolled. I think you might have been, you either were trolled, I think, or they're mistaking it for the advisor. Because I remember seeing the advisor was arrested, which I'm not surprised. I mean, Ajit Pai is a piece of shit. Going back to DS9 expansion for a minute, did you see who's all returning for the expansion? I did. I was kind of depressed because they were like, we've got 10 new cast members coming for the Deep Space Nine expansion. And I assumed they would be cast members who had not already been in Star Trek Online, and like half of them were already in Star Trek Online before. I was like, that's not like 10 new ones. That's like 5 new ones. Ajit Pai, #1 content creator. Man, I never hated somebody so much as Ajit Pai. When he did that video, that got under my skin. I got pissed from that. I saw that, and the second I saw that, I was like, man, fuck whoever, like, fuck the people who put him there, fuck the people who currently support him. And the sad thing is, it's both Democrats and Republicans who are kind of responsible for it, so I can't just blame one party or not. Even though some people, I think, really want to. So, false alarm. So far, it does not look like Ajit Pai himself has been arrested, just an advisor. Who is supporting? I've seen like some support for Ajit Pai, and it's mainly from like the crazy right that wants to kill net neutrality because they think it's bad. I think those are like the only people I've seen support him. But it's very little. There's not a lot of like, and those are just. I'm not counting people who are like will make money off of what Ajit Pai does. Like we know that corruption's there. I'm thinking like actual normal people who are for whatever reason going along with this, and it's usually just the crazy right that want to kill net neutrality. Because a lot of the right wing does not. Polls showed that a lot of people wanted net neutrality there across party lines. So it wasn't really Republicans doing it. It was just there were like aspects of the Republican Party that kind of wanted it. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about this. I was debating whether I talk about this at the end of the stream or after I'd cover all my news stories, because I'm not getting like too many political stories right now because I just haven't felt motivated to watch them. Like this whole week, I didn't want to say Razor Fist was supporting Ajit Pai. But I was thinking, that was like the first name that came to mind. I was like, I think Razor Fist supported that whole thing, but I don't remember. So, yeah, I haven't been watching much political stuff, like not even on YouTube. And I think it's just because there's like so much shit going on, and it's both parties fucking up, and it's like nobody there is doing what's good for people. So it's like, why keep informed when it's all going to shit and it doesn't look like you can do anything about it? I've kind of hit that point right now where it's like like the once the whole Syria story broke out, I was just kind of like ugh, because it's been so annoying to watch both sides like talk about it because I don't agree with them at all. YouTube is the last place to go for political info. I feel like it's a better place to go than actual news at this point. So I might disagree with you there, Jawtard. Because I've watched what the news, because we used to at my one when I worked over the summer for a company, we did like video work, and they put on CNN in the background as we would like test things, and I got to watch what CNN was talking about all the time, and I was just like, this is news now. They literally would just talk about Trump's tweets all the time on CNN, and I'm just like, I'm really not missing out watching CNN because I wasn't getting anything of substance from them, and that's kind of how it's like all over. Yeah, I like Philly D too. He's not my favorite one. The ones I tend to watch is I watch Secular Talk, and I watch Jimmy Dore, and a few other of the like progressive YouTubers. I do try to watch some right wing stuff because I don't want to just have an echo chamber. I don't watch them too much because I don't watch that too much anymore because I just don't watch political stuff anymore. Let's see. There are some good fuck corporate media type news channels on YouTube. Yeah, that's kind of the attitude I've been in. I keep plugging this because I feel like my audience doesn't watch it, and I feel like a lot of them would enjoy it. Check out Unfilter. I like their coverage of the news because it's not like a left-wing show or a right-wing show. It's more of we watch the media show, and we try to keep them in line and push past the bullshit. And they're really good at showing the bullshit the media does, especially in their media cover, because they break down news segments really well to show people, like, hey, they're intentionally editing this segment so you think this way. Like, they break down the scripted parts, and I kind of like that. Like, when you take a news segments go by so quick that it's hard to sometimes follow or realize that they are wording certain sentences in a way to make you think a certain thing, whether you're left or right. But because it's going so fast, you don't have time to analyze that statement, but it sticks around, and they do a really good job at pushing that through. So it's live on Wednesdays. You guys can check that out. It's on YouTube. Unfiltered. Any other search terms? No, it's not Unfiltered. I always say Unfiltered. It's Unfilter. Jupiter Broadcasting does it here. I'll bring it up so you guys can see it. Because if you enjoy, most of you watch, practically everybody here watches DP, and you like the news segment. So fun fact, if you like Drunken Peasants, the secret sauce is, I think I can say this, DP was partly inspired by this show, because I talked to Ben once, and we both were fans of Jupiter Broadcasting, because he actually knew me from when I did Stoked, which was a Jupiter Broadcasting show, and through Jupiter Broadcasting's Star Trek Online podcast, Unfilter, which was their political show, came out, and Ben enjoyed it so much that he always kind of wanted to do his own version of it. So this is kind of you can tell there's a little bit of inspiration in the news segment, especially for early DP. Current DP is a lot more like YouTube stuff, like crazy people and stuff. But back in the day, you can kind of see the inspiration. So if you guys like the news segment of Drunken Peasants, you will probably enjoy Unfilter. Not so much comedy. It's not a comedy show. Though there's some funny things in it. It's definitely more to inform. Barbara Bush died. Wait, did she actually die? I don't know if I could trust spectacular glasses after he got my hopes up on Agit Pie. Imitation is art. Yeah, everybody, like, I hate how people think everything has to be 100% original, because that's just not how art works. Every piece of art ever has been inspired by something. The only problem I ever have is the only problem I ever has if you just rip something off and it's so obvious that you plagiarized it. But if it's like heavily inspired from, I'm usually okay with it, because that's just how art has always worked. Yeah, Jupiter Broadcasting. They do a lot of tech stuff I'm not super interested in, like Linux and stuff. I know nothing about it. But Unfiltered, definitely a show worth checking out for news. Did I actually get an important message here? Oh, somebody's texting me. I thought it was something from Twitter. I was getting another story or not. Barbara Bush died. Damn. Ben is definitely gonna... I can't believe Ben had a period sex dream with that woman. I'm trying to remember what the other story was I wanted to cover. Oh, yeah. I lost all my stories when I rebooted because the mic was being stupid, and apparently still is. Which I'll look into that. I'll figure out what's up. Breaking news, Barbara Bush was arrested by Agit Pie and Brett Keane is resting in peace. See, nobody ever buys the whole thing. Like, the day Brett Keane dies, nobody's going to buy it for like a month. Or ever. People will just say it's a conspiracy. So let me see if I can find this. What was this group called? Bully Hunters. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I'm into gaming, and probably some of you heard of Bully Hunters. So here's my SJW news of the week, I guess. So they tried to create a group, basically, that I guess in order to I don't get how this started. this is what perplexes me. Like, if you haven't heard of this, get ready. Get ready. This is how some people thought to handle bullying in online games, which I will say, it's not like a non-issue. It's there. It's not as big as this group said, but you can't deny that there is harassment in online games, but it just kind of comes with the territory. And if you don't enjoy it, then just don't play the games. Like, there's so many options for you, because, like, I get annoyed with people all the time because I do competitive games, and it's yeah, what a delightful shit show. Yeah, this was a mess. But yeah, I do competitive online games, and people will trash talk all the time, and you just shrug it off, honestly. And if you can't, there's tons of options. You can mute the person in a lot of these games. I know one of the big complaints this group had was like voice chat, and it's like, can't you just turn off voice chat? Every game I've played, you can. It's like, it's not a problem. And I do think maybe like female gamers are going to get called out possibly a little more than men just because they're female, but people use that against everybody. Like, it's just, they're toxic environments, and I think there's a better way to go about it than this story did. So if you haven't heard of their solution was to have this elite group of female gamers go into these multiplayer games. What was this game? I think it was Call of Duty. What was it? No, Counter-Strike. I have never played a Counter-Strike game. It looks so boring. I'm just not into those games. But apparently they were going to go into these games and go after people in the game that were bullying by just harassing them in return. Like, literally their idea was, let's go into the game, and if somebody's harassing somebody, we'll just hunt them down in game and just continue to kill them. And it's like, that's not going to make it any better. That's just going to piss the person off more. They're going to get upset and take it out in other matches. Plus, then you're just encouraging more harassment, because that's harassment in a way. So it was like, let's see, bully hunters only succeed in becoming the punchline to a joke for the next week or two. Yeah, that's literally all it did. The second it took off and people heard what this group was doing, like, I guess it got prominent groups behind it. Like, I saw a couple groups here. Yeah, here were some of the companies. Vetagear, Cyber Power PC, and Steel Series were like some companies and stuff that like backed this group. They're like, yeah, we support this group and what they want to end harassment in games, which isn't a bad thing, but they didn't realize how this group was going about it. And lo and behold, it was in a way that their companies probably didn't approve of. They were going to kill bullies with like their 7 KD ratios. Yeah, that was... If you want to deal with bullying, that was the last solution, I think. Plus, the problem was they made it out to be like everybody who plays a video game is bullying somebody. Like, at least I didn't listen to all their videos, but I saw like one of them, and they made it out to seem like the gaming community is toxic as hell, which I will say in a lot of multiplayer games it is. From my experience, it's pretty bad. But it also depends on the game you're playing. Like, I've been in some great communities online for games. And the thing you got to think of is almost everybody who's 40 and below is a gamer in some way. They're playing some sort of game. So I hate when they trash talk video games and they're like, everybody's this terrible person who's just sitting in their mom's basement, like, trolling people. And it's like, no. No, that's not the case. And these companies backed this group without really looking into that message that this group was putting on, because I think it was just they saw it was like, hey, it's supporting women in gaming, so let's support it too, or else we could get in a lot of trouble here, guys. And they didn't realize, oh, they're actually not really offering a really good solution, and it's going to piss off our consumers. And that's the problem with a lot of these companies, is they're not looking into things enough when they go to support groups. They're just kind of going off of the whole I guess PC culture at this point. They're just listening and go, oh, that sounds like it's politically correct. Let's go for that. But yeah, this group died. It died on its first stream. I swallowed water down the wrong throat. That's why I got silent there. I was like, am I going to cough this or not? But yeah, so... And then I this article was long. If you want to find it, you can search it. It's a Polygon article. But long story short, you don't have to read everything here, but if you want to hear like the perspective of one of the women who I guess was one of the heads of this thing, I guess they still want to like do the group or something similar, but I don't think that's gonna happen now because a lot of the big names that were supporting them backed out. That's bad PR. Your group's not gonna do well after that. But it's funny because the thing that stood out to me was this chick. She got in a whole bunch of controversy because she had used like offensive terms. I guess she was doing like homophobic slurs and shit in her streams from what I was reading here. And so people were using it against her when she was trying to target people for online bullying in this way, which is like, no shit. It's funny because these people go online and they want to tell people how to act and stuff like that. And then they themselves have done shit in the same vein, but for whatever reason, because now they have been woke, they think they can tell everybody what to do online. So I was not surprised to find this woman had said sketchy and offensive things in her past. I don't know, what's your guys' thought? What do you guys think about the video game communities? What have your experiences been? Do you think I agree with them in some ways. Like I think online games can be pretty toxic, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If you've been enjoying the stream, be sure to leave a like. And if you want, you can send in a Streamlabs, see me flip a desk over for as little as $1. I was gonna have a stream goal tonight. I usually make it like $20. If I can make $20, that's always nice. So if you want to help me get to that, I would appreciate it. Yes, the flipping the desk is back. Trekker knows what I'm talking about. He was in my guild where I made that meme. I use that now as my Streamlabs. Some communities are toxic, but I've made great online friends in Destiny and Borderlands too. See, that's why I do get this. Like, I feel like the toxicity of gaming only comes in when it's like random people. With most guilds I've been in, I've met great people in them. I have had problems with the like political aspect of guilds and how they're run. But when it just comes down to like gaming with people, overall, I think when you have a gaming community, people who can get along nicely, that's when you're going to have the real meaningful stuff online. Like, back in high school, I didn't hang out with a lot of people in real life, partially because of social anxiety and all that stuff. But online, I could share in this hobby I had. Because if you look at it, so Star Trek Online was my big game, like in high school. But I'm like, I'm early 20s right now, and Star Trek was basically off the air before I hit even middle school. So of course, not a lot of people my generation are gonna like Star Trek. So I didn't have that to share with people my age. But through the internet, I could find a few people my age, but a lot of people who were older than me who enjoyed the hobby. And so online gaming got me into this whole world where I found a lot of people that I still keep in, like Trekkers here in the chat, Edders, and I still keep in touch with them. Like they're friends that have stuck around, and I keep tabs on them, and just it's weird to think that some of these people I've never met in real life, but they've had such an impact on my life, and it all could happen because we played a video game together, honestly. And in our case, when we did Star Trek Online, we did a whole podcast for that shit. And it pretty much led me to doing this shit right now for you guys. Let's see, I watched a Bully Hunter video. Are you sure it's not a parody? It seems like a troll, but SJWs are pretty insane, so I don't know. It's not a parody because actual companies got involved. I would say, I mean, honestly, a lot of the stuff I would say is parody, but given the fact that companies signed on like to support this group, and interviews I've seen from some of these people, like this Casanova person, I don't think it's a parody. I just think they were SJWs who were crazy that thought, hey, we can. They want. See, here's the thing with the SJW community is they want, and I'm saying this as a progressive. Like I fall more on the left side of the spectrum. the SJW side wants to fix the world and solve all these problems for usually minority groups. And it's usually just because they want to feel better about themselves. Like they just want to, and in their world, if they can help these groups along, they will feel good in their lives because they're missing something. And this whole thing, it's like they don't ever focus on real issues. Notice, like this whole group was dealing with the whole online harassment in video games. And it's just like there's a better way to go about it, and there's more issues. Like, how about we actually tackle bullying in like schools? That to me seems like a bigger issue, because at least on the online, like in video games, it usually just lasts for a match, and you can just turn off your computer and go. But like with harassment and bullying in schools, that's something you force kids to go through every day because they have to go to school. Like, I'd rather see that one get tackled than the other one. So yeah, I do think the bully hunter thing is legit. I wish it was parody. I wish a lot of this shit was parody, but it's not. Because that one, what was that video? I forget the group, but the video that was, what was it, a week ago? No, it wasn't even a week ago. It was a bit. Trying to out the bully. The bully always works well. But yeah, what was that? I forget who the people were that did the video where they were like, it's the one where they said, they covered white male privilege by saying if a white male was trying to cross the river and a refugee was, the white male has privilege because he can teleport. That cringe rap, like that one was brilliant. But it's examples like that show these people are just like they've kind of lost it. The video was called Privilege Bridge. I don't know why they called it Privilege Bridge. There wasn't even a bridge. He literally teleported over the river. There wasn't a bridge. God, I hate those things. Like, the cringe raps out there are terrible. I don't get why people think if they write a rap, it's going to change somebody's mind on an issue. It really isn't. My mind has never been changed by a cringe rap. Especially, like, these people should know, like, they're so stuck in their ways. Do they really think that if somebody came out with a cringe rap against their ideology, would they change their mind? I don't get why they think anybody else would. It literally is just there to feel good about themselves at that point. But yeah, those were the stories I pulled this week. Because again, like I said, I haven't been following any of the political stuff. So it's like, eh. But if you guys have a story you want me to talk about, let me know here. Otherwise, I'll probably get heading out here in a bit. I think people like to bait people into making response videos. Yeah, there's definitely that. Also, it's just, the thing is, the internet is such, it's not a good place for debate, honestly. At least when it comes to things like Twitter and all that, where you can just have a few characters to debate things. Like, I don't really try to debate people on Twitter. And I did it a little bit on Facebook, because I have some friends who are not of the same political ideology as me. And we'll disagree on things sometimes, but I really don't try to debate them on Facebook, because even with no character limit, I don't like it, because you can't, like, if I had somebody on right now and we could talk about an idea, it'd be a little easier. But without like tone, when it's just text, so many things can be just misread that it's like, oh, okay. So I don't like the online debate sphere that much when it comes to text chat, and when it's done in video format, it's usually more for entertainment. People are pretty dumb. They think it will go viral and change the world. Yeah, I think that's what they usually think. I can't think of viral things that usually change the world anyway. People forget about it in like a week. That's the one thing I thought about with this whole. I almost covered the Starbucks coffee shop issue, but that's gonna be something people forget in a week here. And like when I heard about it on Drunken Peasants last night, I was like, oh, this story's stupid. Like literally, people got butthurt over a simple issue of people just hanging about and loitering. But it's like, because we're in this society of everybody who gets triggered by all this crap, it's like, oh, because some people got kicked out for loitering and they were black, we have to make a whole big deal out of it now. And I was just like, and the amount of people, like, there's legitimate issues the black community faces. This whole Starbucks thing doesn't have to, it's not one of them. It really isn't. The only case they could have made is if they actually had bought a product from the store, then I could see their point. But they hadn't. They were basically loitering, so it's like, okay. But yeah, last call. You can send in a last minute topic for me. I'll cover at least one more topic. If you guys have a question, you can ask a question too. And if you want to Streamlabs it in, go right ahead. You can see me flip that desk. And if you can't do any of that, be sure at least leave a like. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps the video out quite a bit. Or a dislike. If you didn't like the stream, likes and dislikes help. And be sure if you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Click that bell so you can get notified at least a little easier when I go live. I try to tweet it out all the time, so you can check my Twitter for when I go live most times. My Twitter handle is Admiral_Murphy. I believe that's in the description below. I may go live tomorrow. I'm going to, if it fits into my schedule, I think I'm going to do part 3 of the Drunken Peasants RPG. So I'll probably be tomorrow afternoon if I do go live after Pitmonk stream, The Morning Wood, which I usually wraps up at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So probably around 1:30 or 2 then I'll go live and I'll be playing some DPRPG. And maybe, and I don't know if, I probably won't do an evening stream. I don't know if I want to do another Admiral Murphy's log where it's like we're on a certain topic. We did the science fiction one the week before, so I want to try to do a similar one to that. I didn't have a topic I just wanted to stick to tonight, so tonight was just kind of a grab bag. But if you do dislike it, leave a comment why so you can make it the best streams possible for you all. I've read so many. It's funny. I did a Star Trek Discovery review, and it's always funny because I'm still getting views and comments on that, even though it's gotten older. And I was worried when I first made that because, like, wow, this is like a little bit after Discovery wrapped up. Do people even still care? And people still apparently do care because that's still getting views. And it's funny to read some of the comments in that because people are so polarized on that show. I get like every other comment's either, yeah, I agree, this show sucked. Basically, just like, yeah, this thing is the worst thing ever. Yeah. And then the other half of the comments are people who are extremely butthurt I trashed Discovery. All right, I am going to get going then, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And if I don't catch you tomorrow, I'll catch you guys in the future. So thanks for tuning in and putting up with this apparently shitty microphone static shit. I'm going to probably, after I get off the live stream here, mess around with it and see what the fuck was up with that. So next time you can have the full better voice. So thanks everybody, and I'll catch you next time.